Hello friends, today's topic is chargeability section 22 and conditions therein. It is part of the topic income from house property. In this section, we will be studying what is the charging section of the income from house property, what is house property, in whose hands the same is taxable, and what are the other conditions. So, in this topic, we will be studying what is the chargeability of the income from house property. First of all, which house property is taxable? House property is something which building and land appurtenant thereto, means any income from the building and the land which is attached to it. Any land attached to the building and rental income from it, the same will be subject to tax. And under whose authority the same is charged to tax? It is as per the Income Tax Act and as per section 22, which is the charging section of the income from house property. On the screen, you can see section 22, which is the charging section for the commutation of income under the house property. And as per the Bare Act, the wordings are the annual value of the property consisting of buildings or land appurtenant thereto, of which the assessee is the owner, other than such portions of such property as he may occupy for the purpose of any business or profession carried on. So, annual value of the property, which is building or land appurtenant thereto, means it is attached to the building and SSC is the owner. So first part, it should be a building or land. Second part, the SSC should be the owner. Third part, it should be other than the business or profession carried on by the SSC. The same shall be chargeable to income tax under the head income from house property. So this is the charging section, which is section 22 of the Income Tax Act 1961, and section 23. Section 23 determines the annual value of the property. It is through the annual value or the value of the property which is subject to tax, which is determined by section 23. So before going on to section 23, we will see what are the conditions for chargeability. So on the screen you can see first condition is that it should be a property, buildings or land appurtenant thereto. So first condition we have already discussed, it should be a building. Under the headers you can see buildings include not only residential buildings but also factory buildings, offices, shops, godowns and other commercial premises. So any rental income from this buildings, from these examples of building, will be subject to tax under income from house property. Again, buildings include not only residential buildings but also factory buildings, offices, shops, godowns and other commercial premises. Then land appurtenant means land connected with the building like garden, garage, etc., which is not divisible from the building. Third pointer, income from letting out of vacant land. Income from letting out of vacant land is, however, taxable under the head income from other sources or profit and gains from business or profession, and the same will not be subject to tax under income from house property. Second pointer, second condition is SSC should be the owner. So, owner is entitled to receive income from the property in his own right, and registration of the sale date of the property is not necessary. So he should be the owner, and however if the registration of the property is not yet made, but however if certain conditions are satisfied, for example if certain conditions are satisfied where the registration of the sale deed is yet to be completed but where the possession of the property is received and certain amount of the property has already been paid to the seller, in those cases the registration of the sale deed won't matter, and the SSC would be termed as owner, and accordingly the income from house property will be taxable in his hands. Third pointer, need not also be the owner of the land upon which the building stands. So this example, for example, if a builder sells the property to an SSC, so builder is the owner of the land. However, the building standing on the land, the building owner is the SSC, in which he has a house in the said society which is on the land. So same will be taxable as a house property in the hands of the SSC. And the last point, SSC must be owner during the previous year, not material whether he is the owner in the assessment year. So the fourth pointer says he should be the owner in the previous year, need not be the owner in the assessment year. For example, in 1920 he was the owner, he has earned the rental income. Now he has sold the property on March 20, and in assessment year 2021 he is not the owner of the property. So however, he has earned the income in the financial year 1920, the income will be continued to be taxed in his hands, even though he is not handling the property, he is not owner of the property in the assessment year. So for the purpose of taxability, we will be seeing whether the SSC was the owner in the concerned previous year. If yes, the same will be subject to tax. And the last point is, for property under dispute in a court of law, the decision as to who will be the owner will be of the income tax department till the court gives its decision. So this was the second condition in which the SSC should be the owner. He may not be the owner in terms of registration wise. Even if the registration is at a later point of time, it doesn't matter. And even if he is not the owner in the concerned assessment year, then also it doesn't matter. If he is the owner in the concerned previous year, then the same will be subject to tax in his hands. Now, the use of the property. What is the purpose of the using of the property? If it is used for commercial purpose, in a way he is renting out the property, then the same will be subject to tax. However, if the same is used for the purpose of business or profession, if the same is used for the business or purpose of business or profession, in a way the business of the SSC is such that he purchases the property and then rents it out, then the same will be termed as business or profession, and it will be considered as income from business or profession. It will be considered as income from business or profession and not income from house property. Next point is property held as stock in trade. In which case, property held as stock in trade, it is a scenario in which builder has built the property, has built the society. Now he has vacant flats which are yet to be sold. So in those cases, the builder has a exemption for 2 years, in which case he has received a CC, in which case he has received a certificate of completion. So, for example, a builder who has received a certificate of completion on March 2020, so from March 2020 he will have 2 financial years till which this property won't be taxable in his hands as income from house property. If after 2 years the property is still vacant, then the same will be considered as DLOP in his hands and taxable as income from house property. Also, one more condition is the property should not be let out by the builder. If at all the property is let out, then straight away it will be taxable as income from house property. So on the screen, for house property held as stock in trade, for house property held as stock in trade, the annual value of the property is charged as income from house property, and annual value will be nil for 2 years. Annual value will be nil for 2 years from the end of the financial year in which certificate of completion is received, provided such property is not let out, which is coming from subsection 5 of section 23. Now next topic is composite rent. In case of composite rent, it's an example in which the services along with the building, there are certain services which are either not divisible or which can be separated, which either can be separated or cannot be separated. For example, a house property or for residential accommodation. So in that, it is provided as a rental accommodation with furniture. It is provided with lift, with other services such as gym, gymnasium, and other services which are provided in the society. So there might be other services which are not divisible. So in those cases, how the taxability will be done? So the composite rent, it's like it is the combination of the housing rent as well as the other services. So first pointer on your screen, you can see apart from building, rent received for other assets, services such as furniture, plant and machinery, lift, power backup, security, etc. Tax treatment of composite rent. First is house property income, some related to use of property. Some related to use of property will be treated as house property income, and profit and gains or income from other sources where there is some related to use of service. So in ideal scenario, if both the figures can be separated, then in those cases the rental income will be charged as house property income and other services will be charged either as business or profession income or income from other sources depending upon the nature of the services. And if let out of billing are inseparable, so this part, if it is inseparable, then entire services, entire income will be treated as profit and gains from business or profession or income from other sources. And however, if it is separable, then letting of building is house property income and letting of other assets is either business or profession income or income from other sources. Next point is income from house property situated outside India. In these cases, even the house property outside India will be subject to tax in the hands of an ROR. So, if a person is resident and ordinarily resident of India, his global income will be subject to tax in India, and accordingly, house property income which is earned outside India, house property income in a way, if he has earned rental income from the property, the same will be subject to tax. He will be eligible for deduction, which will be municipal tax or any interest on the borrowed amount. The same will be available as deduction. So the criteria of taxability will remain the same. However, the taxability of property outside India will be solely dependent on the residential status of the SSC, and in some cases, it will be possible to claim a treaty benefit as well. For example, if an assignee is a resident in India, ROR, and based on residency, the house property income is subject to tax in India, and if the outside India country also tax the same, it will be taxed as a source basis in the hands of the SSC. So there are chances of double taxation. So any taxes paid outside India in the source country will be available as a credit in the hands of the SSC. So taxes paid outside India will be available as a credit against the tax liability in India. Again, we will have to read the treaty, respective treaty, and the taxability accordingly can be determined based on the respective DTAA, double taxation avoidance agreement. So on your screen, income from house properties situated outside India, taxability would depend on the residential status of the person resident in India, ROR. In case of individual and HUF, residential status, as we have read earlier, that ROR category is only available with individual and HUF. Hence, ROR in case of individual and HUF, income is taxable in India, whether income is brought into India or not. So, global income is taxable. And for non-resident or RNOR, income taxable in India only if received in India. And since it is not sourced in India, NR and RNOR won't be subject to tax in India. Even if it is subsequently received in India, there is a possibility that it won't be subject to tax in India. So income from house property outside India, it is only taxable in the hands of ROR, and there would be a treaty benefit available as well. So what we have covered till now in this section is the chargeability, which is the charging section of income from house property. Section 22, it states three conditions, which is it should be a building or any land appertaining thereto. The SSC should be owner. SSC should be the owner, building or land appertaining thereto. Then building and land appertaining thereto. Let me highlight it. Then the property shouldn't be used for business and profession. So for business and profession, anything which is there, it should not be used. So these three conditions you should be keeping in mind. This is the charging section. Building or land appertaining thereto, SSC is the owner and it should not be used for the business or profession. Conditions: property, buildings or land appertaining thereto. Buildings include factory buildings, offices, shops, godowns and other commercial premises. And a vacant land, if the same is let out, it won't be taxable under the head income from house property. It will be taxed under the head profit and gains from business or profession or income from other sources. SSC should be the owner. If you see, registration of the sale deed of the property is not necessary, and SSC should be the owner in the previous year. It doesn't matter if he is not the owner in the assessment year. Use of the property should be used. The purpose is important for the property. If it is used for business and profession, then the same, they won't be taxable in the hands of the SSC, and it will be taxed as income from, it will be taxed as business or profession income. Property held as stock in trade, again it won't be taxable for 2 years if certain conditions are satisfied. Certain conditions, in a way, CC has been received, completion certificate has been received, 2 years from it won't be taxable, and provided it is not let out. If it is let out, it will be straightforwardly taxable as income from house property, and the same is coming from subsection 5 of section 23. Section 23 is nothing but determination of the annual value, which will get covered in detail in the next section, in the next slides. Then composite rent. Composite rent is nothing but rent of other services as well. So rent of the building and rent of other services, when put together, it's called as composite services. If it is separable, then rental income as house property and other services as PGBP or IFS, income from other sources. If it is inseparable, then entire rental income will be taxable as profit and gains from business or profession or income from other sources. And the last point is income from house property situated outside India. In those cases, it will be taxable in the hands of ROR. Thank you.